your guard shack would have been. I remember that building straight ahead. Of course, we didn't usually go in that direction when arriving at the base. I think that was where the flight surgeon had his offices. And off to the right here, of course, we have the flight line, the hangars. This is now a campus, so they're probably using this from all the kids stuff there. Probably using it as a child care center. I'll go around the front of the building in case you recognize it here. It's definitely the architecture of our day. I remember those L-shaped buildings. They would test engines in them or something. I can't remember for sure, but I believe these buildings are left over. This would be the street we would normally walk in on, or drive in on. The ditches are being built. More like on this side. Maybe not. I remember the motor pool being off in this direction. Firing range was out there somewhere. You and I never had to go out there, but it was out there somewhere. All of the area on the right here, of course, is covered with barracks. This would appear to be the last cross street, so our barracks would have been right over here. Yeah, right off at J. Cross street here is J, and right along there, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the sidewalk right there, a little bridge over the ditch, the sidewalk leading down toward the hospital. Looks like they got it blocked off up here. Building on the right, it used to be the old building before we came here, and that's where I worked, the Department of Public Health, military Department of Public Health, and that building was there in 1980 when I visited, but it's now gone apparently. Beyond the hospital. We used to take stuff out there when I worked part-time at the bowling alley snack bar. We'd take our junk out there, our trash. We're back to where our barracks would have been. There's nothing left at all, not even the parking lot. I don't even see any entranceways. There had to have been bridges over the ditch here. It's all completely gone. They've cleared it all off. There's a fire plug. That's about the only thing that's left. Just a little further up we have the what used to be the officers' quarters. I was told at the visitors center in town in Amarillo that these are now being rented out, that they're owned by he thought the city. The college has a campus out here, and that it might be owned by the college, but he's probably right, and it's probably city property. They probably took it over. The building over here on the right, if I remember right, this would have been the PX, the Post Exchange. It's about in the right area, but it could be anything. Continuing down the road that leads to what we would call the South Gate, although we're still in the main part of the base. Off to the left here you'll see what appears to be the chapel, appears to be the original chapel. You know, I'm going to take that back. I don't remember that building as a chapel. I don't remember the chapel looking like that building. I believe that's newer. Now, this building seems to be from the right era, but I have no idea what it might have been. Now this building is more like the chapel that I remember. It's certainly possible that this is the original chapel. I don't remember the chapel being that large, but I only actually went to services there once, so my memory of it isn't all that good. Another building, two-story building. I don't remember any two-story buildings except maybe the headquarters building, but this era seems to be about right. And another building. This is clearly the main street. I remember it being a divided street. The headquarters building was off on the right-hand side of this street as you moved in this direction. And again, another building of the correct era, but I have no idea what it might have been. Now the water towers are original equipment. I remember one time I was given an assignment, well, another guy was given an assignment to climb up there, and he recruited me to go along basically for courage. I climbed up to the walk around at the very top, but I made him climb all the way up to the top where he opened up a hatch and got a water sample out. I'm pretty sure directly over there is the base theater. We'll go take a look. On closer look, this doesn't look like a theater. Of course, it's been converted to other uses over the years, so whatever's stored on the outside of it there is pretty irrelevant. They've sealed off doors, cut new doors. Really hard to say what it could have been. Another building of our era, but I can't put any particular use to it. Another building with the area fenced off. There's some concrete structures out here. Could have had something to do with testing of jet engines. You'll remember we had a jet mechanic school here. Flight line, of course, they've got it fenced off. There were industries up there. I remember they were making helicopters at one point. Now this building would make more sense as being the base theater. And I was told it was still open, or that is, it still existed. Kind of hard to say, but it's tall enough. Could have easily added some stuff on the side here. I don't believe this was the entrance. I believe the entrance was on the other side. I only went to movies there a couple of times, and of course a couple of times the base commander would make us come down and he'd give us a lecture about venereal disease or something. When I went to the movies, I was usually taking a girl and we'd go to town. I wouldn't bring her out here. I remember about in this area we had a bowling alley. It had a snack bar attached to it, and I used to work in there at nights. Now we're back at J Avenue again, and looking back toward where the hospital and our barracks would have been. And then off in the opposite direction would have been the south gate. I'm going to head out in that direction and see if there's anything left. The south gate came in off of Highway 60. The north gate off of Highway 66. It was quite a ways out here, and you can see some traffic way out there. And just outside the base there was a pawn shop. I remember that. I pawned a radio a couple of times. Maybe a gas station, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. Looks like some buildings still here. Yeah, and here's a wide spot in the road. Yeah, this is clearly where the gate would be. This would be where the guard shack was. Is that building going to be a gas station over there? By golly, this has got to be the pawn shop. Now a convenience store and gas station. Looks like it's still active. I'm going to have to go walk in there. I don't remember a gas station being here. I think they've added that since then. Then across the street, well, there's a garage, and yeah, it looks like there might have been some gas over there. I know I never purchased anything out here. I'm amazed these old buildings are still here.